Welcome back, dear aspiring flying officers. Let us have a detailed discussion and get complete solutions to the integrated practice test number 2, which you have taken in the previous lecture. Now, the very first of the questions, you have already had enough practice on such questions. And the only thing is the series varies. So we just have to find out what is the series in the first grid. Then ensure that that is the correct series with the help of the second grid and apply that and find the answer for the third grid central cell. Right. So first grid, here what is the series being established? The opposite cell numbers are being added up and these sums are being multiplied. So in the very first grid, opposite cells 11 plus 11 and vertical opposite cell 7 plus 5. So 22 into 12 is 264. This number is being placed in the central cell. And let us check the second grid. Here also the horizontal opposite cells 6 and 2, they are being added up, and vertical opposite cell 13 and 3, they are being added up, and 8 into 16 we got 128. So the series is established. Let us just apply this for the third grid and get the answer. So opposites, horizontal opposite cells 13 plus 6, vertical opposite cells 8 plus 7. So 19 into 15 is 285. So the correct answer is 285. Next, idiom is given, and what is the meaning? Dime a dozen. A dime means anything having 1/10 of value. And then several such dimes will still have much lesser value. So dime means it is available everywhere, very common, and of not much of particular value. So the option is very common and of no particular value is the correct answer. Next, this question, M can finish a job and Z does it, right? This let us do it in two methods. We know one method. Together how much they do, how many days they require, then we convert that into 1 day's work. Right. Now let us learn a new method, units method. Okay. So this units method, what it is? First of all, we'll have to take the LCM of the individual days. That is 6 and 8. So which is 24. So this 24 is the total units of work to be done by this M and Z. Right. Now divide this LCM, that is 24, with M and Z's individual time or days. Individual days it is. So 25 by 6 is 4 units per day is M's efficiency, and 24 by 8, 3 units a day is Z's efficiency. So that we'll put in our figure. Efficiency we got M's efficiency as 4 and Z's efficiency as 3. Right? Then in 1 day they can do 4 plus 3, 7 units of work. Okay, what is the total your work there is 24. So per day they are doing 7 units and they work together for 3 days. That means they have completed 21 units of work in 3 days. And then M left. So now Z is remaining and he has to complete the work. So the question is, how many days does he require? But here we know Z's efficiency is 3 units a day and the balance work is also 3 units a day. So Z requires only 1 day to finish the work. Right? So practice this method also well. You can gain mastery. And let us check with our traditional method, which is a shorter method, right? So M and Z's 3 days of work. What we are doing, instead of finding the total number of days they require and then reversing that fraction, we are speeding up the process. M and Z's 3 days of work is 3 into M plus Z by M into Z. So that will give 7 by 8 of total work. In 3 days, they have done 7 by 8. So what is the balance work? 1 by 8. And incidentally, what is Z's capacity? 1 by 8. Right? So Z requires only 1 day. Right? So if you practice, both the methods are very, very easy and they'll give you one step answer. So please practice both these methods. You will gain immense speed and mastery and accuracy in this time and work question. Next, what are the Cambridge Dictionary and Merriam-Webster's words of the year 2024? Now, Cambridge Dictionary has selected manifest as the word of the year 2024 because this is the word which has popped up in most of the searches on the internet, right? And manifest is the word of Cambridge Dictionary for 2024, whereas Merriam-Webster has selected polarization as the word of the year 2024. This is in the backdrop of the bitter poll campaign which happened in United States of America between Kamala Harris and Mr. Trump, right? Polarization means division into two sharply distinct opposites. Okay. And next, let us see option A also. Option A there, we got environment and WhatsAppism. While WhatsAppism vaguely refers to addiction to social media, right? Many of us, we just spend time in WhatsApp, right? Morning to night. So that is WhatsAppism. And then environment is the physical, chemical, and biotic circumstances in which any organism, including us, should endure its life. So that is not these two are not the words selected by Cambridge and Merriam-Webster, but it is manifest and polarization. And let us see what are the other options also. That is, let us learn the meanings of the other options. Now, option B, it is a rendezvous and conflict. Right. Now, this RENDEZVOUS, right? It is to be pronounced as rendezvous. It is an arrangement to meet someone, especially secretly, at a particular place and time. Right? And conflict means opposing action of divergent ideas. Right? And again, these are not the words selected by Cambridge Dictionary and Merriam-Webster. Then option D, yoga and whataboutism. Right? There is no such word as whataboutism. And yoga, we know, it is an ancient system of practice that integrates physical, mental, and spiritual aspects. Right? And it yoga emphasizes the connection among mind, body, and spirit. Right? Here you would have observed some grammar. We have got three elements: mind, body, and spirit. And the connection, we should say it is among. Now, when you have only two words and when you are relating them, then you can say connection between them. But when you have got two and more, that is more than two, we have to use the word among. Right. Next, let us move to the next question. Fifth question. It is analogy. I hope you understood what actually this sorcery, necromancy, and all these options. Let us find out first what is the relation between sorcery and necromancy, so that we can evaluate the given four options. Sorcery, it is a type of black magic, right? Where evil spirits are used to make things happen, right? This is all bakwas. Whereas necromancy is the dark art of summoning and communicating with the spirits of the dead, right? So, sorcery and necromancy are synonyms to each other, right? So, what we have to find out whether in the given options there is any synonymous relationship. Okay. Now, thanatology, option A. Thanatology is the scientific study of death, and science meaning or science has got nothing to do with this scientific study of death. Right? They are not even synonyms to each other. Right? So option A is wrong. Next, option B, grotesque and macabre. Right? Grotesque means very, very ugly, comically distorted, unpleasant, and slightly frightening also. And macabre means very strange, unpleasant, violence, death. So, grotesque and macabre, they are almost synonyms to each other. Right? So, these two words have a synonymous relationship with each other. So, for now, option B appears to be the correct answer. Let us see option C and option D also. Now, marriage, it is we know, it is a culturally and legally recognized union between people. And these people who get married, they are called spouses. And funeral is a death ceremony, right? Marriage and death, they are antonyms. So, option C is wrong. Next, option D, classic. It means a memorable and very good example of its kind. And then ruins means irreparably damaged and disintegrated. Right? These two words, classic and ruin, they do not have any relationship with each other. So option D is also wrong. So what we got, grotesque and macabre, they have got a synonymous relationship. So that is option B is correct. Next, incomes of A and B in the ratio 4:3. Right? This is a ratio proportion question. A and B are 4:3. Annual expenses 3:2. Each of them save 60,000. Right? So this is a very, you can one step answer you can give. Of course, after you got a practice, enough practice in such questions. Okay. So first of all, let us understand what is the conceptual method, so that by speeding it up, we can get the shortcut or shorter method or oral method. Okay. So let us tabulate the given details. I'm giving you what is the actual conceptual method. Okay. So income, A and B income is 4:3. So let us say it is 4x and 3x. Expenditure is 3:2. So let us say 3y and 2y. Please observe, when you say when you give x to income, you cannot give same x to expenditure. You have to use a different variable. So that's why we are using y, 3y to 2y. And savings, each of them save 60,000. That means A is saving 60,000 rupees, B is also saving 60,000 rupees. Right? And now we know whatever is left after spending, that is savings. So that is income minus expense is savings. And here let us use this expense equal to income minus savings. Right? So here since expense equal to income minus savings, So A and B, they will be having the same relationship. That is, will let us go by A by B. Expenses of A whole divided by expenses of B are equal to income of A minus savings of A whole divided by income of B minus savings of B. Right? And we already got their annual expenses are in the ratio 3:2. So we have already learnt 3:2 can be mentioned as 3 by 2. Right? So 3 by 2 is equal to income of A is 4x, savings is 60,000, income of B is 3x, savings is 60,000. Right? So by using expense ratio, what we are doing, we are getting the entire equation into one single variable, that is only x. Okay. And what is the question? What is the annual income? Right. So our equation we should get in terms of all incomes. Suppose the question asks what is the annual expense of B, then we should get our equation in Y terms. Right. Now 3 by 2 is equal to 4x minus 60,000 whole divided by 3x minus 60,000, and let us cross multiply this. Then 3 into in the brackets 3x minus 60,000 and 2 into in the brackets 4x minus 60,000. So that is 9x minus 180,000 is equal to 8x minus 120,000. And let us rearrange the like terms. 9x minus 8x equal to 1,80,000 minus 1,20,000. So x is equal to 60,000. Right? So therefore, what is x? It is income. And what is the AS annual income? 4x. So 4 into 60,000, 2,40,000. Right? This is the correct answer. Now let us see what is the shorter method. Okay. Here, what is the A and B's annual incomes? 4x, 3x. The difference is 1. And what are the expenses? 3y and 2y. The difference is 1. Okay. And both of them are saving the same amount, 60,000. Right. So 1 unit is 60,000. Right. Therefore, everywhere it is only 1 unit. The difference is only 1 unit, both incomes and expenditure. So we got 1 unit as 60,000. So yes, annual income is 4 into this 60,000, 2,40,000. Next, okay, this is an idiom, and we have to find out the correct meaning. Sharon believed that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Right. So here, what is the idiom? A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Right. Now, let us see this explanation. How do we reach a second floor? We'll enter the ground floor, then take the steps and reach the first floor, and then again take the steps and reach the second floor. Right. Same way, अपना ग्रेजुएशन कैसे कंप्लीट करते हैं हम? क्लास 10 पास करेंगे, उसके बाद इंटरमीडिएट जो भी साइंस या आर्ट्स जो भी क्लास 12 वो लिखते हैं, उसके बाद ग्रेजुएशन फर्स्ट ईयर, सेकंड ईयर, थर्ड ईयर. राइट. सेम वे मॉर्निंग टी हम चाय कैसे पीते हैं? थोड़ा थोड़ा ग्लास में लेके, कप में से थोड़ा थोड़ा लेके पीते, आगे बढ़ते. राइट. तो पूरा टी एक ही बार हम पी नहीं सकते. राइट. So a journey of 1,000 miles, we will complete the first mile, second mile, third mile, fourth mile, fifth mile, sixth, ऐसा आगे बढ़ते हैं. Right? So Sharon believes that every big accomplishment often starts with a small effort. That is the correct answer. Next, right? Parts of the Indian Constitution. I hope you have studied the parts of the Indian Constitution lecture well, and you would have remembered the table which I gave there, right? From that, this question is compiled, right? So let us see. Which of the following four statements is incorrect? Okay, that means three statements are correct and only one statement is incorrect. So what is that wrong option? Right. Provisions, let us see option A. Part 18 contains emergency provisions, right? Articles 350 to 360, right? Emergencies, there are of three types, financial emergency, national emergency, and normal political emergency, right? That and we are going to discuss these three also further in detail in our next lectures, right? So option A is correct, no problem. That is not the correct answer for us. Next, option B, right? DPSP is mentioned in part 4, articles 36 to 51. Yes, this is correct. And here, directive principles of state policy provision is obtained from which country's constitution? Ireland constitution. We have discussed earlier. This is a famous PYQ. DPSP is obtained from Irish constitution. Okay. Right. Next, let us see option C. Part 5 contains provisions regarding parliament. Yes, right. Part 5 is dealing with the union. The union means center. Right? So parliament, president, vice president, right? All these are judiciary, Supreme Court, these are in part 5. Right? So option C is also correct. Right. Now what is incorrect? Option D. Obviously, when three statements are correct, the fourth one has to be wrong. Part 16, right? It contains articles 315, option D, right? It contains provisions regarding Public Service Commission, articles 315 to 323. So the last option D is incorrect. Next, this is a coding decoding question. Honey is coded as a 14, 21, 20, 11, 31. And then how is the word poison coded? Right? Next, so let us see honey. How honey is coded? Right? If you observe 14, 21, 20, right? It is not a linearly increasing one or linearly decreasing code. Right. So let us first arrange the word honey, the alphabets as they occur in the dictionary. So from this, the first letter is E, and then H, then N, then O, then Y. And let us put these digits also in the increasing manner. So 11, 14, 20, 21, 31. Right? So here in the coding, number 11 has been given for E, and number 14, E, F, G, H, 11, 12, 13, 14. Right. So here what has happened? The series is starting with number 7 for A, number 8 for B. Right. Instead of number 1, 2, 3, the series started with number 7, 8, 9. Okay. So that is the series. And poison, right? Poison. So let us arrange. In this poison, what is the last letter? S. Okay. So let us have the digits up to S, right? Starting from A to S. Because after that we don't require. That's why. So coding, what we do? POISON, and from this above arranged numbers, so we will get 22, 21, 15, 25, 21, 20, which is option A. Next, again from the parts of our Indian Constitution, this question. Right. Which part of Indian Constitution has provisions regarding trade, commerce, and intercourse within the territory of India. Okay. Now let us check these parts in seriatim. What is the first one here? We got part 6, part 11, part 13, and part 17. So what is part 6? The provisions regarding states, right? Part 5 is union, part 6 is states. Okay. So the articles are 152 to 237. Option C, right? So that is since it is having provisions regarding states, it is not having provisions regarding trade and commerce. So option C is incorrect. Next, option B. What is this? Part 11. Part 11 contains articles or provisions regarding relation between union and states, right? Administrative relations and legislative relations. So articles 245 to 263. Okay, right. Then part 13. Part 13 contains provisions regarding trade, commerce, and intercourse. Okay, so option A is correct. Then part 17, articles 343 to 351, official languages. Right. So what is required for us? That part which contains provisions regarding trade, commerce, and intercourse. Right. Next question, let us see. Question number 11. A and B can do a work in 15 days and 10 days. And B leaves after working together for 2 days. Yes. Okay. So let us go. I've given here the usual method and speeded up method also. Right. Simply working together for 2 days. So that will be 2 into A plus B divided by A into B. That is 2 into 15 plus 10 by 15 into 10. Right. So they have completed 1/3 work. And then B has left. Okay. So 1/3 work B has left. So what is the balance of work? 2/3. And how many days B work together for? 2 days. Okay. In how many days whole work will be completed? So what balance 2/3 work? How many days will A take? Right. A requires 15 days to complete a work. So for 2/3 work, so it is less. So he requires less days. So 15 into 2 whole divided by 3. So that will give us 10 days. Right. So A is taking 10 days and already along with B he has worked for 2 days. So total 10 plus 2, 12 days. So total 12 days are required to finish the work. So option B, 12 days. Right. Next question number 12, analogies. Right. Fret and disquietude. What is the meaning of fret and disquietude? Then find out the relationship between these two, and then search for similar relationship from among the 4 given alternatives. Right? Fret. We know this word fret very well. Right? He is fretting. Right? We know this very much. Fret means anxious, to be anxious. And disquietude also means anxious. Right? And so both these words are synonyms to each other. Okay, so let us find out a synonymous relation between the words from among the 4 given options. First one, corporeal and heaven. Right? Corporeal, corpus. Right? You would have studied in Ritz, habeas corpus. Corpus means physical and not spiritual. And heaven means abode of God and the angels, and it is a spiritual, right? So these two are antonyms to each other, right? So option A is not giving us any synonyms. So option A is wrong for. Then in spirit means encourage, and confidence also is encourage, right? So in spirit and confidence, they are having synonymous relationship, right? So this is the correct answer for us. Let us also check the option C and D, what it is about. Option C is indulge to vacillation. Indulge means allowing oneself to enjoy the pleasure of having or doing something, and vacillation means indecision, right? And vacillation, indecision, you are not doing anything. Indulge, you are doing and you are enjoying doing something. So these are antonyms. So option C is wrong. And then option D, avian and fish. Avian means relating to birds which fly in the air. Fish, it lives in water, right? So these two are antonyms. So option D is also wrong, right? So for us, option B, in spirit confidence, has the same relationship as a fret and disquietude have. Next question, again, parts of the Indian Constitution. Part 15 of the Indian Constitution contains which provisions? Is it amendment of the Constitution? Is it fundamental duties, or the UPSC, or elections? UPSC, that is Public Service Commissions, in which part we have already discussed. So let us evaluate each option. Amendment of the Constitution is in part 20. It is not in part 15. So option A is incorrect for this question. Next, fundamental duties. They are in part 4A, article 15A. So this option is also incorrect for this question. Then public service commissions, they are mentioned in part 14, right? Not part 15, part 14. Okay. So first three are incorrect for us. So obviously fourth has to be correct. And elections are mentioned in part 15, right? So option D is correct for us. Then question 14. This is time and work. S requires 5 days to paint a house, whereas V requires 20 days for the same job. S starts painting the house and after 3 days falls sick. Working alone, how many days does V require to complete the job? Right? You would have got an idea, right? 5 days S work. You remove, subtract it from 1, and whatever balance work, that much work V has to do, right? So let us go by efficiency method here, because 5, 20, 25, such numbers, no, they give us exact percentages. Whereas 3, 8, 7, they give us in decimals, right? So 1 by 5. S efficiency is 1 by 5. What is 1 by 5? 1 day work. S takes 5 days to complete a work. So what is 1 day work? 1 by 5. So 1 by 5 is 20%, right? And V requires 20 days. So 1 day's work is 1 by 20, and 1 by 20 is 5%. S is 20%, V is 5%, right? And S painted the house for 3 days. So 3 into 20, 60%. So he has completed 60% work. And what is the balance work? 40%, right? And V has come now. His efficiency is 5%. And what is the balance work? 40%. 40% divided by 5%, 8, right? So he requires 8 days. Option C, right? I hope this efficiency method you have understood well, right? Practice this method also. It gives you immense speed and accuracy. Next, this is closed test, right? Either CLOZE or CLOSC, closed test, right? Here, a passage is given with blanks in at some places, and we have to fill in that blank with the correct words as per the theme of the passage. So here the apex court in its order hoped that state governments dash a new police act that would be capable of keeping away the dash from any pressure, safeguarding the rights of citizens and establishing the rule of law. Right? Governments, what do? They enact acts. Right? So option C, enact. Right? The apex court in its order hoped that the state governments enact a new police act. Okay. Next, sentence that would be capable of keeping away the dash from any pressure. Right. Now, which act is being enacted? A police act. Right. Now, obviously, a police act a new police act is being enacted for what? Keep away the police system for pressure from pressure. Right. So, option B, police system is correct. Next, question number 17. Right. Again, we got a time and work question. Right. So, hope you have done this question correctly. And let us go with the speeded up method. Again, here what happened? X is working, X takes some days, Y takes some days. Together they worked for some days. And now instead of working alone, how many days does X require, or working alone, how many days does Y require? It is simply asking how much work is left over in percentage terms. Okay. Now X takes 15 days, Y takes 10 days, they work together worked for 5 days. So let us go for the speeded up method which we have learnt. So that is their 5 days work is 5 into X plus Y divided by X into Y. So 5 into within the brackets 12 plus 10 by 12 into 10. So that is 5 into 22 whole divided by 120. So which gives us 22 by 24 easy, and simplification, this 22 by 24 becomes 11 by 12. Right? So this much work they have done in 5 days, 11 by 12 work. So what is the balance work? 1 by 12. Right? So this 1 by 12 is in fraction. The question wants is in percentage terms. So 1 by 12 is 0.0833. You multiply that by 100. So you will get 8.33%. That is the correct option. Hope you have understood this method very well. In fact, you would have realized this is a very easy question, one-step answer. Next, coding, decoding. A number has been denoted to each of the given letter. Select the option from the following 4 possible arrangements of these numbers that forms a meaningful word. Okay. Now, what is given? T, C, M, E, T, M, N, O, M, I. Okay. So, now on permutation computation, permutation and combination, right? We get that word to be commitment, right? And under that, let us put COMMITMENT. Okay. So here again, as we have already learnt, here you see the letter M is repeated thrice and T is repeated twice. So when such repetition is there, how do we go? Whatever is the first digit attached to that, that we'll put it there, right? So for C, only one time is there, so 9 we have put. For O, mentioned only once, so 3. And M is mentioned thrice. And the very first time M got 8, so we'll put 8 there. Then again M is there. Second M got 5 with it, so we'll put 5. And then ITMENT, right? T also, first time it got 10, second time it got 6, right? So, and one advice is that do not waste time in guessing what is the word. Simply pick up the options and go ahead. So the correct answer is, correct option is D. Next, 19th question, right? Parts of Indian Constitution and their provisions. Okay, so let us check, before answering, let us just see part 5, left side and right side column, tribunals, legislative powers of governor, citizenship, parliament, finance, power. Okay, so from this, you can easily find out that citizenship is in which part? Part 2. Part 1 is India and its territories. Part 2 is citizenship. And also you can find out parliament is in the union. The union is in part 5. And part 6 is states. Okay. So parliament you can straight away connect with A. A4. Okay. And 6, you know, it is for states. So let us see what is for states. Part 6, legislative powers of governor. Right, the governor is in a state, so we can straight away put legislative powers of governor in part 6. Right, so the correct option is part 5, parliament, and then part 14, tribunals, part 2, citizenship, part 12, finance, property, contracts and suits, and part 6, legislative powers of government. Okay, and next one, the next question, right? Select the most appropriate meaning of the given idiom to keep the wolf from the door. Right, now here wolf is a dangerous animal. Right, given a chance, it will attack us and it will eat us. So here wolf is symbolically mentioned for hunger. Right, and keeping something from the door means keeping it away. Right, keeping it, letting it not in. Right, preventing it from coming in. Right, so to have just enough money to our hunger or starvation. Right, that is the correct answer. Okay, so I hope you have done this test well, and also you have understood these solutions well. I've mentioned, I've discussed all the 20 solutions in detail, and if you still have any further doubts, please mention in the comments. I'll try to discuss with you in further elaborate manner. And in the next lecture, we are going to discuss schedules to constitution. Till now we have discussed parts, right? So now let us take up schedules to constitution of India, and also few dance forms from Rajasthan and festivals of Sikkim, right? Because nowadays AFCAT exam, they are asking various dance forms and various festivals celebrated in states. Okay, so in the next lecture, let us discuss these dance forms and festivals and also schedules to Indian Constitution. Right? Till then, Jai Hind.